Nobody needs an intro when the title of a video is this direct about what's in the video, right? So let's get right into it, but you can leave me a comment to insult me if the games weren't underrated or obscure enough if you want to. I like being insulted, I can't lie. I think we all have seen games before that make you think, why does this exist? And this has been one of those for me, where I saw it and thought, this can't be good and it's only funny for a little bit to see how crazy it is. I was wrong. How could a game that has an epic intro like this ever be bad? Look at that truck, listen to the music, it goes way too hard. I don't even know if a truck like that would be allowed to drive on German roads. If I saw that on the road, I would be blinded by its beauty and crash. You know what isn't allowed to drive on German roads for sure though? Me, because I don't have a driver's license and don't care about cars in the slightest. Except for monster trucks back in the day when I was really young, but every young boy loves them, or pirates or dinosaurs and all the other typical stuff boys back then liked. Nowadays they just play Roblox instead of banging two action figurines together to pretend they're fighting. So normally I'm not the type of guy to enjoy racing games, but this one has such an amazing arcade style to it that makes it hard not to get addicted to it. There's not much you have to do yourself. You just press the gas button. I know, saying this as a German maybe sounds a bit wrong, and either swing the remote into the direction you want to go in or use the digipad forward. You don't have full control over the car, so it's more like those pick your lane kind of games you got in your Happy Meal back in the day. But you can also pick your way at certain crossroads. At first I thought the blinking one is the bad one, so I drove onto a street that made me think, wait, I did that completely wrong, dummy me. It really adds that big brain moment depending on what you pick. Sometimes taking a different road is maybe faster, but what if your truck sucks at turning and that road has a lot of turns to slow you down? What if that road is more busy and you have to avoid more cars? Taking a shortcut isn't always the smartest thing to do. One of the biggest reasons why Initial D is so beloved is the music. Hearing Running in the 90s puts me back to like 2007, seeing that Ronald McDonald's LOL internet meme for the first time with the song on Zord.de, a website that just yoinked memes from all over the internet, mostly 4chan, and you could click through them or just hit random. This was my very own brain rot back in the day, just sitting there and watching these short clips. I wanted to just click through a few to capture the feeling of the website, but I just sat here for 20 minutes and enjoyed it. Things really were much simpler back then. I'm not even that old yet. I think I'm really becoming a boomer. Do not use that website when you got epilepsy though, you will probably die. And here the music is also great. Driving a big truck at night through a city with Japanese pop and rock blasting at full volume is just a different vibe. It also gets your blood pumping. If you look at this gameplay footage without the music, you would yawn and maybe fall asleep. Please make sure to get enough sleep. But with the music it makes you think, holy shit, look at me blocking his path and overtaking him again eventually. Just shows how important music can be in a video game or in life itself. That's not even all. There are many trucks to collect because after every battle you get to keep the truck of your opponent if you win. So it's a bit like Racing Lagoon for the PlayStation 1. That JRPG published by Square where after every battle you get to keep a part of a car. I really wanted to like that game because it's ultra stylish, maybe one of the most aesthetically pleasing games I've ever played, and the OST is also great, but having random encounters in a racing game, it just broke me. Also, you can do whatever you want to your truck. Paint every single part of it however you want pretty much, but also buy new items for it after winning a few races. Once I saw these anime banners, I knew I had to win enough races to buy at least one of them. I also got a teddy bear, but sadly I couldn't find a way to look around in my cockpit when picking that view, so I could never see it. Look at my anime truck though. The whole time I was loyal to my truck from the beginning. That's what real men do. They don't just switch to the more fancy one you just won. I would easily recommend this game to fans of arcade racers like this. There's even a little dancing kind of minigame where you swing the remote and nunchuck into the right direction while you can listen to all the cool tracks the game has to offer. What more could you ask for? Except that this mode also should have included the lyrics so you can sing along with your probably not so great Japanese skills that are not required to enjoy this game. Sometimes you hear people joke off a game over and over about how it's a life-changing experience and it makes you interested in it too, but on your own terms. So instead of playing the Sega Saturn or PlayStation 1 version, you pick the Wii version, which is a port of the PlayStation 2 remake. At least that's what I did, despite being a person that most of the time does not like remakes. Maybe it's because Baroque feels like a game you have to experience on a real console. My Wii luckily is real, so one day when I own a tiny CRT and a Sega Saturn, I will give it a shot. Sometimes my footage here will look really laggy, so I apologize for it, but my capture card messed up and I didn't want to re-record parts of it since I love putting the fitting footage into my videos. So when I talk about stepping into a dump trap for my first time, I really want to show you my first time. You get thrown into this little place that looks like the average industrial area in North Rhine-Westphalia. Only my fellow Germans will understand this, but I can assure you it's really accurate. Not knowing what's really going on, who are you? Who are these people? Why are his feet so goddamn big? Isn't it weird how most people who are into feet prefer small feet? Bigger feet mean more feet, so it should be better, right? I like boobs, so I like them big, obviously. But with feet it's different, I guess. Why is his neck so long though?
A fucking VB long neck!
Why is my number in the top left corner going down? Why are there fishies flying around? Why is this twink giving me a big weapon? There are so many questions you will have, and the more you play, the more you find out. Simple, right? It's like life itself. When you're young, you want to know the answers to all of your questions, but then on your deathbed you will think you would rather have not learned all of those answers. Being apathetic to the things happening around you is the better choice sometimes, even if it makes you feel pathetic. In a video game you do obviously want to know how to play it though. The only thing you get told is to enter the Neuro Tower and reach the bottom of it. What will you find there? A really nice smell, since I think basements do smell really damn nice. I never understood why people are so afraid of them because of that. If someone wants to murder me, he surely won't wait in my basement to do that. Said by a person to soon be killed in the basement, I guess. I'm a bit sad that the basement smell does not have a real word for it. Like how rain on asphalt is called petrichor. Why don't we have that kind of name for basement smells? My first one was frankly quite terrible. I wasted some of my shots on the fish that fly around the town, even if it's not really a town. But calling it a town feels more at home than just calling it a hub. An USB hub should be called a hub since it feels so impersonal, but a hub area in a game should never be called a hub, because all your friends are here, so it's a friend's town. Then I went down into the tower just to use my remaining shots on more fish, and on the next floor I stepped onto a flea to dirty up my shoes and tried kicking fish that take way too many hits when you try to use a small delicate feet. Because I didn't know the B button punches. I thought you had to shake your remote to do a melee attack, but it deals so little damage. With your fists, they die after like 3 hits. Here you can see they take the beating of their life. I wish that would be me. So I ran around and panicked because my numbers are running out, and in a video game when your numbers go down, that's never a good thing. Also don't pick up random seed even if it looks really yummy in that white sauce from the ground when you are outside, because the same as here will happen. You will die. Be responsible. Luckily for me it's a roguelike. Death is encouraged. You should die to learn things. Die over and over so you can prepare yourself for the next time. Forget how it feels to die. It's a natural part of life. After the first time, you're not any smarter though. That goes for many things. This is why you play a roguelike. Figuring out how to play the game without some stretch or tutorial. Learning by doing. Actually, the game does have a tutorial, but it won't let you enter it unless you died at least once. And the tutorial is a bit annoying. Not because it's too long or anything like that, but Coffin Man is just saying goddamn way too goddamn much. And I am not allowed to play games with bad words in them. Luckily my mom was out of town with the neighbor, so she didn't hear it, or else I would have been grounded.
I am the goddamn thing. On, goddammit. Whipped it, goddammit. Good luck, goddammit. Let your goddamn guard getting lost, goddammit.
So with that newfound information, you go back into the tower over and over. Each one giving you new information about the enemies, the traps, the items and the many NPCs you will encounter during your mission to get to the bottom of things. And maybe don't be dumb like me, because the Coffin Man actually has even more tutorials in his training dungeon. If you beat that tutorial, you even get to keep the stuff from it. Unless you throw a boom and die. Don't be like me. The range of it is pretty messed up. I just did it again though, and with the items I kept from it I even managed to beat a 1. The game itself is kinda basic if we count the normal combat, but it gets interesting when you learn more and more about the items. There's warps that you can use to warp around, but you can throw it onto an enemy to warp it away. You can put lightning stuff onto the ground and then kill yourself with it because you placed it on the wrong side, since I did this before I did the tutorial where it teaches you about tails and heads up. You can put parasites onto your weapon to give it shockwaves and so on. There's many combinations possible. Also, some people think that the Souls games have obtuse NPC quests, and while that's true, the NPCs here are on a higher level. But I will leave that for when I make a video about both of these games, the original and the remake. Maybe also include the typing game. You will get a 3-in-1 package. I don't know what they thought when they were thinking, hey, Let's make a typing game out of Baroque. It's cool though, I guess. And I have to say the NPCs are kinda funny because of the English dub.
Die. Die, you're right. I'm going to die. Die, die.
I finished the one of it and there's still many things to uncover, so I will keep grinding to get those. So I can make Alice happy. Who has this track that I played in background in her room that makes it feel like a safe haven, if you wouldn't keep losing your vitality in here. It would have been nice, a single room where everything feels alright. Maybe a room like that exists and I just have not found it yet. I didn't thought I would ever have to cover another caveman game, but here we are. Once upon a time I played Tale of the Sun, a game where you play as Neanderthaler, I prefer to say the German way, and build a tower to heaven. This one does not make you build a tower to meet God, but instead you do the average things that the average caveman does. Sniffing the ground for meat. Nowadays we can even make meat grow out of the ground. We really came far as a society, even if you sometimes may think we didn't. Really deep, I know. JAWA, not to mix it up with the amazing programming language that gave us the best game ever, you guessed it, the Ape Escape mobile game, never left Japan and has never gotten a translation, not even by fans, because there's not any fans of this game. Except me now, because I wish I could become a caveman again. Life was so much more free back then, no taxes, no rent, you could bonk people on their head for free, and the worst thing that could happen is being mauled by saber-toothed tigers. Back when cats were still dangerous, instead of being these cute little creatures that we can now own. Sadly, you are not totally free here either, since you have to listen to the leader of the bunch, you may know him well. Which is the tutorial, and with a bit of trying out shit, you can do what he wants you to do. Like getting lots of meat and bonking kids to scold them. With games in a different language, you always feel the language barrier will keep you out, but it mostly goes for lengthy games like RPGs, here it's not so bad. You know what else you're not free from? Finding a mating partner. So you can do that in the game too. Back in the day when all you needed to do was to make animal noises at a woman or guy and they knew they want you. Nowadays when I growl at people they would call the cops. I really wanted to include me barking like a wolf like this, but my dignity told me to shut up and not do it. For the better. The interesting thing is that the fights are done in a little rhythm game. When the game wants you to swing your Wiimote, you do damage. When it wants you to press the A button, you defend. And with the B button, you buff yourself up. I'm the worst when it comes to rhythm games though, not called Guitar Hero, so my swings are really bad. I once streamed Rhythm Heaven for the Wii, and I still get bullied for how bad I was at it. Also, maybe I am mind broken by the many years that Among Us was everywhere, but look at these things that show up during battles. Don't they look like an Amogus to you? Please tell me they do, so I'm not all alone. Everywhere I look I see these dumb little astronauts, even though I'm one of those weird people that has never even played Among Us. Despite it being free on mobile or just $3 on Steam. That's the life of having no friends. Missing out on all of those games that are hyped up for a month before they go back to not existing. But it shows how big Among Us was. It was in people's minds for 5 years, while Lethal Company and Repo are already kinda gone. A bit sad, but that's the cycle of life. And time. There's just something charming about the look and the game itself. It also helps that your character can look really cute since you can pick it out for yourself. I just really like the male hentai protagonist haircut on women. Makes it feel more special when you finally get to see their eyes. Almost as if you have seen something you shouldn't have seen. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video and will have a good day, a good night or whatever fits your time zone. Normally these type of videos are like at least 10 games or more, maybe a bit less, but I prefer to get a bit more personal with each game to show people some of their strengths so you can really see what they're about and if you want to check them out yourself. And again, if you knew all of these games you can tell me I wasted your time and give me harder insults. YouTube will sadly filter them most likely. Also, I put timestamps in and named them so you could have skipped through it, but since you can hear me say this you probably didn't and watched it and I have to thank you for that. And with that said, bye bye, have a good day. I already said this, bye bye.